Have you ever felt somewhere or the other that every time you progress, something seems to happen that creates a regression in your life? Not only that, but the regression seems to knock you back or knock you past that point of origin. If you're anything like me, have you ever reached this point in your life that it seemed that as though you pushed and you propped and you prayed, that you just kept hitting this invisible ceiling, and no matter how hard you pushed and how much muscle you used in your calf, you just seemed as though you could not propel past that position? If you're anything like me, I know that you went through a stage or phase in your life that you felt like it doesn't matter what you do, it didn't matter what you said. It seemed as though no one understood you, and it seemed that as though you were doing good. It seemed like the good you were doing and giving just wasn't good enough. If you're anything like me, you were in a place, or you are in a place that you've reached, or you were at that point that you were sane, and it was resonating in your heart and in your mind. It was agreeing with one another. That thought that it doesn't matter what you do, you cannot affect change on a global level. After all, I don't have power, I don't have authority, I don't have the prestige, I don't have the chronological age, the intellectual aptitude, I don't have the nepotism, the charismatic ability to reach, to touch, to affect change like those other individuals. So it doesn't matter. I have to play and stay in my lane. If you're anything like me, you went through a season, or you are in that season, so you feel like you're just going through the motions and you know something needs to be done, but it's hard because you just keep being reminded of how insignificant you are, and that your status doesn't equate to that of a person that's able to shift the fragmented society. Well, I know we've been there from time to time, because with this vain life that we have, because of the daily tasks, and because of how mean and cruel this world can be, these thoughts somewhere or the other have come in. Well, as we know, we've seen many picketing and many marches. We've heard about many protests. We've even joined in on the cause, but we still have not seen change from that cause. We still have not seen the change from that bill. We still have not received that drink after that meal. We still have not received the fee from the labor. We still have not seen any results, and it makes us feel as though everything is just the way it is. It gives us that indifferent spirit and that persona, that laissez-faire persona, and that mindset that makes you feel like a sluggard, that no matter how hard I try and work, my labor is in vain. And it makes you feel that you will not receive that value for that asset, because you know you are worth something, but society keeps fighting you and knocking you back on your heels every time you try to do something worthwhile. Every time you try to clean that coin so you can see the value based on its date, based on when it was established, based on its creation, based on its meritorious value, it seems as though that person ignores what you're trying to show them. It seems as though every time you try to found or fund something, you're not getting the applause. And I'm here to tell you, even though the government public policies, their acts and bills have been faltering, and it seems as though the destitute lands are getting worse, and the spirits of the grandparents, your ancestors, your associates, your friends, and your strangers are becoming more gloomy, even though you see the pain, the struggle, and nothing is happening, you have a part to play. And if you feel like me, you know that something ought to be done. But if you feel like me, I know oppositions are coming against you. And these oppositions are shooting and gunning because they want to win what has already been won. Every person makes a difference. Every role and purpose that have been purposed and destined in you is unique, and it has value. There is substance, and it's even been hidden from you, because you are fearlessly and wonderfully made. And there are some things that you yourself will never understand, but understand that the innate thing in you will be pulled out of you, and it's in the suffering, it's in the struggle, it's in the tribulation that you're gaining the experience, you're gaining the hope. It's in this process that the glory that's on the inside of you, that gift that is wrapped up, layered up, packaged, that thing that is in you, for it to come out, there has to be a shaking, there has to be a tumbling, there has to be some motion, because in that motion, that's when it's awakened from its slumber. Know and receive that these words are not words that's idly spoken, but these words are words of life and truth. They are words to empower you so that you will be empowered, that the nations will rise up from its state of sleeping and slumbering, its state of laying in the marshy land, the state of laying below the mountains. It's time for the nations to rise. And you make a difference. In the suffering, the prophetic is stirred. In the suffering, the apostolic is stirred. In the suffering, we see who we really are. Because it's in the suffering that everything manifests. Be encouraged. And know that a change is coming.